Mark, start us off because I asked Charlie the same question. Did you watch any of the darts?
I didn't.
You didn't?
No, not a big fan.
No, but that's fair enough.
I don't think it's a sport, I think it's a pastime.
That's fair enough.
Whether that's controversial or not, I don't know, but I've heard about the guy. I did see some of the, not the final, but I've seen some of the bits. I wish I'd have had that much facial hair at 16.
Well, there's more of an angle into me asking you, do you remember what you were doing at 16?
Just playing football, I think. It was, yeah, I was schoolboy probably at Bristol City then, or Watford back then, but yeah, fair play to him.
What would your entrance song be if you were a darts player?
Must be Super Cooper, wouldn't it? The song that they sing. It's I've not had many songs sung about me, as a manager. Usually not very nice words in it.
I was going to say, yeah. Not broadcastable.
No, there you go.
We've got Super Cooper.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's start straight in with the transfers then. Dylan Morgan announced, good addition to the squad. Obviously he's coming over from Taunton, he knows the league well. Why did you decide to go for him?
I think when you're recruiting, you're trying to add value, you're trying to make the group better long term as well. Dylan scored really high on our data metrics that we use, that we've devised, and our analyst Sam Curry, very, very good. And we have some specific metrics that are specific to the way we play. And Dylan scored really highly on them, and we have a database of players that we score and look at that are constantly changing, and he was up there with Jordan Young and Jordan Thomas at Bath on the data. So when we had a chance to act on it, and with the trouble that Taunton have had, it was something that we were always going to try and make happen.
Is a large part of that about work rate for you, given the amount of running that your players do?
Well, the players that in playing those positions, we have a real clear identity of how we play, and the three players behind the front player have a license to go and really create and enjoy themselves. And the only caveat to that is when we lose the ball, they have to sprint 10 yards back in alongside the midfield players, the two wider ones. Whoever ends up in the wide areas have to sprint back in for 10 yards, that's it. But they have real license to go and create. When we build our possession, they have real license to go and drift about and get really good positions, and that's what Dylan does. He drifts into good positions, he can go past people, and he can score.
I'm guessing he was someone on your radar even before the Jay Folston signing then?
Yeah, like I said, on our metrics and our data, he's really, really high, and that's what we look at for those positions. Of course, those metrics would be different for fullbacks or midfield players, but he scored really high on those.
Can you go into the squad for Saturday then?
I believe he can, yeah.
And looking elsewhere, obviously there's a bit of movement going on with the loan market. Malachi's now moved out to Taunton and gone to Weymouth. What was the thinking behind that decision?
Just to keep him playing games. Obviously we have a real competitive front line, and surprising Mal didn't get more game time than he did at Taunton with their struggles, but I think it's good that he's continuing, and I think he'll get more game time and it'll do him good, and hopefully he does really well.
In terms of the outgoings, incomings, should we expect more at Hewish Park over the next few weeks then?
I don't think we're in a position where we need to do loads. I think we've got a real settled squad. We've got a small squad. We've got some players that, obviously Jordan Stevens is injured. We're hoping to see him back 27th of Jan. He's penciled in to start back in with the group, so not that long. Sendles White's back now. And then, we have Scott Pollock, who was signed in the previous regime on data, but different data. So Scott is doing some training, and I'm not sure how long it'll be, probably another 2 weeks before he's match fit, and then we'll be looking for some opportunities for him to go and play some games.
In terms of a break in play for you guys, not playing since Boxing Day is probably just the longest period you've had off since the start of the season. Is it come at a beneficial time, or were you quite keen to get the game out of the way on New Year's Eve?
We'd love to have played. Of difficult. We always want to play, but we can't help the state of Taunton's pitch or the amount of rain we've had. The problem we've had is, making sure we've got somewhere to get on the grass, which has been difficult. We managed to do that today, and it's enabled us to have a little bit of a freshen up, get some good work into the players, and we have 2 games in a short space, and then we get another 11-day break. So we want to really attack the 2 games that are coming up.
Let's talk about Bath then. Last time out, 1-0 win fairly late in the day. That was a very, very close game at Twerton. What are you expecting when they come to Hewish?
Yeah, they were good in the previous game, and like I say, when I go and watch teams play, it's like night and day when they play against us. There's an added incentive when you play, when you come here and play, or when you play, and when we have 1,200-1,300 people behind the goal and the atmosphere is totally different, it raises the opposition players' performance. And that's what we've had to deal with all season, and that's part of being a big club. We have to deal with that first before we deal with their undoubted quality as well in Bath's team. So they will get a lift from the crowd Saturday, but we have to match that and play our stuff. I went to watch them play on New Year's Day against Chippenham, a tight game. Not a lot happened. They got 7 points over the festive period out of 9, so they're in a good position. I'm sure it'll be a good game. We know what they bring. They got good attacking wide players, forwards. If we play like we can, then we're a match for anyone.
The Somerset element certainly adds a little bit to the occasion, certainly amongst the fans anyway.
Yeah, obviously the manager Jerry, he's doing a great job at Bath. He played here as well, didn't he? So yeah, there's a lot of rivalry in this game, and but listen, at 3:00 it's 11v11.
How important is it that you maintain that gap, that cushion that you built at the top of the league now?
Well, I think it's everybody else that's getting it up about the gap. We might get 4 games called off. Somebody else might play and they might catch us, but we can't do anything about that. All we can do is play the game that's in front of us, and we play that game and then worry about what else happens after that. All we know is that we're in a good moment. We're calm. We're looking forward to every game, and if we keep playing like we are, then we will win some games of football, and there'll be some games that we play really well in and get some bad luck or a bad decision. We can't do anything about that. We just have to try and get something out of the game. But our last few games, we've looked really strong and powerful and deserve to win.